Hello everyone, it's Miss Bo here with this week's craft. Now we are continuing with our origami block, and we are also continuing with making things that are fun to make, as well as make really awesome gifts, not only during the holidays, but any time of year, because they're so fun and simple to make. So this time we are going to be making these very cool origami bracelets. Here's one that I made with the sheet music paper, which would be perfect for any music lover that you have in your life. I will also be using it during this craft not only our paper from the pack that I provided for you with the materials, I will also be using a pair of scissors, a ruler, and a pencil. So first we're going to decide which papers we're going to use. What is important is that you use two papers that are contrasting. So here I have this bright green as well as this neon blue, purple, blurple, if you will, paper here, so that they kind of stand out from each other, just like I do have in the pink and the orange. Or you can just use the same kind of paper with the sheet music all around, okay? So the first thing that you are going to want to do is to start out with a square of paper that is 15 centimeters by 15 centimeters. Okay? You see that there? 15 centimeters by 15 centimeters. So I've never even heard of centimeters before. I've only heard of inches, Miss Bo. That's okay. It's fine. The only reason that it's in centimeters is because, remember, this is origami. It's a Japanese art. They use the metric system. If you look on your ruler, however, on one side, typically, our rulers will have an inch side. On the other side, it will have our centimeters. It's just another way to measure. It'll be equidistant to something that you would be, I don't know, it's roughly what it roughly translates to, but you would basically be able to do the same thing with inches. But for these purposes, in Japan, using the metric system, we're going to use centimeters. How do I measure 15 centimeters, Miss Bo? Well, I will show you. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in on my camera. There we go. As you can see here, I have taken the bottom of my paper and I've matched it to centimeters. There we go, that's better. I've matched my paper, the bottom one edge of my paper, to 15 centimeters. Remember, that is the opposite end of my ruler that marks inches on one side, centimeters on the other sides. Then I go all the way up to where there is the 0 right here. Make a mark. Got it? Do that the same way going here. I'm going to go to the bottom, right? Boop. Down to the bottom, marking all the way to my 0, starting right at 0 as we would, going to 15. One more time. 0 to 15, make a little mark. There is my square when I connect those lines, those dots. Okay? Do you see those? There we go. One more time. I did boop, 15 centimeters, boop, 15 centimeters. One more time, 15 centimeters. When I connect these points, these 3 points, 1, 2, 3, in my paper, I will have a nice 15 by 15 centimeter square. Nicked it with my nails. Voila! Let's cut that out, okay? Stay that way, pencil. Cutting out just on the lines that we marked before. I now have my "15 by 15 centimeter square." Do not discard this paper. We can do some other things with it, okay? There's so many fun things to make with paper. I'm gonna go ahead and cut out my neon blurple paper now. Fantastic. Now, we have those two 15 by 15 centimeter square. And yes, you do need 2, okay? Now what we are going to do is to begin assembling our strips for us to be able to fold together to make this really cool zigzag pattern. You can see here I used some foil paper there. And then be able to loop it together to make the bracelet, okay? So let's begin these folds. Keep your ruler handy, okay? Because it's going to be crucial for actually kind of pressing your folds if you don't have a bone folder, okay? Okay, so to make the folds for the strips, the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to take one of our squares and we are going to fold it. It doesn't matter if it's hot dog or hamburger style. I just do hamburger style because you'll see. So now that I've made that crease, I'm gonna kind of actually take, this is my bone folder. Remember how I had talked about the tools last time in last week's video? I'm gonna make these nice little creases so that you guys can really see what I'm doing here. If you do not have a bone folder, you can always use your handy dandy trusty ruler. I used to use these all the time when I was a kid, before I realized I was actually making origami. See that fold, that crease, nice and strong. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this square that we just folded completely and divided it into 2, meaning we divided it into 1/2. Now we're going to take those halves and divide them into 1/2 again. So how we do that is by taking it, folding it open, and we take the bottom and we fold it up hot dog style just to that crease that we just made, okay? Crease that. Do the same thing to the other side. Fold it up just to that center crease that you made originally, the very first one. Just like so. And crease that in. Okay, now we have our fourths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta-da! But wait, there's more. We actually want to get these down to 8 strips, 8 even strips, because you can see there are now 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna have to do this again and then again. So here we go. I take my sheet that is now folded into even fourths. I take the bottom strip and I fold that in half right up to the strip that I made. See that? I folded it right up there, and that is how that's done. 1, 2. Next, I want to make a crease in this one. So, instead of folding up here, I'm going to fold right all the way up here to make a crease right here. So, take this crease, and with the edge, making sure it's unfolded, right? Fold it so that it tucks right into that top first fourth, okay? That is the marker, and make a crease. One, 2, 3, 4. We took the fourths and we divided those in half, and now we have 4. Let's do it one more time because we want to get 8. So I take the bottom, fold it up, make a crease. Out of my way, pencil. Unfold that. Remember, we're not going to the upmost top one. We're going to go to the one that was marked for the fourths. So in this case, we're going to go to not the first crease, but the second crease. Fold up to that. Make your last crease for this sheet of paper. Voila! You now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal strips of that paper. I'm going to do it one more time with my green paper, probably just a little bit faster, so you will see it one more time, okay? Here we go. First fold in half, taking the 1 to make 2. Two. Now we're going to go to 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Fold up to the one that's right above it. Bam, bam. Crease. Now, unfold that one. Fold up to the very top crease of the first fourth. Oops. One more time to number 1. Finally, up to number 2. 1. Up to the second crease, making our final fold. Voila, you did it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bing! Let's cut these out. Snip, snip. Now I have 2 2 piles of 8. Oh, what's 2 times 8? 16. You need 16 strips total to make a bracelet that'll reasonably fit even around my big hand and wrist. So once you have your 16 strips, now we are going to begin folding them so that we may assemble this bracelet, okay? How do we make the fold? Well, you take your strip, I'll take this green one here, and you fold that strip in half once. Nice little pinch. Open it up. Take the bottom and fold it up to that original crease, like so. And do the same thing to the other side, making that little V. One more time. Fold up in half, exactly, matching end to end. Make a crease. Open it up. Take one edge and fold it up to that original crease that you made. Take the other end and fold it towards the center as well to that center crease, making a little V. We're going to do this to all of these strips so that you can see already that this is starting to get a little bit more involved. So I'm gonna speed up a little bit and I will catch you on the other side, okay? Ding! Oof. All right, I'm back. I have one last strip to fold. I fold it up in half once. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. And finally it's folded into 1, 2, 3, 4. But we keep it just like these in these cute little V's. Awesome. So these are in contrasting colors, 8 each. Now we can begin assembling it. I pick up one color and then I pick up another color. And as you can see here, the V's pop open and make a little opening, right? I am going to take this one and slide it just in there, like so, kind of making this little heart shape. This little V, okay? Now, I'm going to take this, the first color that I started with, right, which was the purple. Now I'm going to take it and I'm going to add it going down this way to make a new zigzag. So I take it and I'm going to add it into my green. Now here you're going to want to sometimes work it through. So you may have to keep your scissors handy in case you need to kind of just trim the edge a little bit. But ideally you don't have to, it just kind of locks in place like a little puzzle piece. There we go. Like so. That is the first one. Now we have our purple, green, purple. We're gonna use now green again, okay? We went down this time. Now on this end, we're gonna go up, okay? As I can see here, this is one of these situations where I need to give it a little trim, and that's okay. It's just about getting it to fit. Kind of joist in there, if you will. And sometimes I take my scissors to kind of open that V up a little bit, very little gently. Going up. Okay, now I have all of my strips folded into 2 different stacks of 8, 2 times 8, 16 strips for total for a bracelet that fits pretty well over my hand. So I'm pretty sure it'll fit over yours. And large hands. So as we can see, our little strips kind of want to pop open a little bit like that, and that's good because that kind of helps us get them linking together. Okay, so I'm going to start with my blurple strip kind of popped open. Then I'm going to pick up a green strip and I'm going to place it inside of those 2 loops, linking the strips together. 1 and 2. Just kind of sliding that together so that it makes this cute little heart almost. It's like a little pixelated heart. That's our first step. Now, as you can see, I went up that time. This time I'm going to use the purple, which was the color that I started with, added a green, now I'm going to add a purple, but this time I'm going to go down from the green strip, okay? Now you can see this little jutting out a little bit right there where my cut is a little off, and so I'm going to just trim that so that it's nice and straight, okay? Because that makes it just easier to work with and better to look at. So once again, you see those little loops that pop open from our folds. We're gonna tuck this right in there, okay? But this time we're gonna go down because last time we went up, so this time we're gonna go down. So down. There we go. Going down. Boom. Zigzag. Purple, green, purple. Let's go back to green. Nice and trimmed, and we're gonna go ahead and put that down in there, okay? One more time. Take a pencil tip if you have to kind of open up the loop, so you can kind of make some room. I don't recommend you use scissors for this. Please just use a pencil so you don't cut your paper. Going down to create our zigzag green. Okay, I'm going to speed this up a little bit, and I'm going to meet you at the other side when I get to the end, and I'm going to show you how to finish this off, okay? All right, and we're back and we've gotten all the way to the end. I have one left of the last color because I started with the purple, right? You can see that big long purple strip that we started with here. And now we're left with green, which makes sense because it's gonna finish it on off, okay? So as you know, we have our little V, chirp, chirp. What we're going to do is we're gonna take that V, it's still gonna be in fourths, but we're going to take it and fold it this way so that it leaves us with a bit of an M, okay? Once again, we're gonna take our V, from our V, flip it inside out, so that we can make our M. Now, the M, this is where we ended up, that last, our final purple that we had put in before I stopped to show you how to connect. We're going to take one strip and place it right through, going the direction it needs to go, of course, because we need to go down that way this time. So, place that in there. That way. The next one as well. That way, and I pull these all the way through. Nice and taut, snug, still making that M, okay? Now I take the other end with this nice long beginning from the beginning. Remember our little pixelated heart V that we had there? I'm gonna take that, and you can see it has a big opening but a little chamber on the inside, okay? So there's one side, and then there's the other side of the V. We're gonna slip these through either side of the V, okay? So, the first side, it slips through. Now, the second side, making sure it goes through the paper. Okay, and it's linked. But we don't want this tag to be hanging up there, right? Even though it's linked. So now what we do to continue the pattern, we tuck that right on in there, and we turn it inside, go to the inside, and we tuck right on in there. And that's it. We have completed the circle of our diamonds, and now you can try it on. Yep, looks pretty good. Thank you, I had so much fun making this craft with you, and I look forward to seeing you at your help desk and make some of these with me, okay? See you then, guys. Bye, happy crafting.